Hey, I'm Kelly, and I just have to share something real quick with you. I was going through my old scripts of YouTube videos that I wanted to make, and it's been years since I wrote these, okay? And years since I've posted YouTube videos, so I'm so sorry. But I came across this script for one that I never could bring myself to record, and as I'm reading it, I feel like it's something that needs to be shared. I feel like I need to share it with the world, even though it's not it's not true anymore. Or, I mean, it was true at the time, but how do I say this? Okay. Even though I'm not in this place anymore and things have changed drastically in my life, I feel like this needs to be shared with the world. I feel like it's important for me to get out there. And so I'm going to just read it because I could try to memorize it and say it in a professional sort of way on the YouTube, on this YouTube video, but I feel like I would lose a lot in translation if I'm trying to perform it and memorize it. I want to read it exactly as I wrote it when I was writing it at that point. Okay, so here we go. It's been a long time. After 3 rounds of LIT, we retested my blocking antibodies and my cytokines. My Th2 cytokines, TNF, and IgG went down drastically, so now those are in the safe range. However, my blocking antibodies not only didn't increase with LIT, they actually went down, which is disappointing. Dr. Stricker at the Beer Center wanted me to go to Nogel's to get another round of LIT, this time from donor LIT. And then just after that recommendation, COVID-19 happened. So getting on a plane to fly to Arizona has not been an option, and I don't see it being an option anytime soon. I asked the Beer Center if we could do anything else during this quarantine time, since, my eggs aren't getting any younger. And they said no. Sigh. So COVID-19 has added a new layer of difficulty to this whole pregnancy, loss, infertility problem. We have tried several months using prednisone and Lovenox to get pregnant naturally, but that is not working. So now we are squarely in the alloimmunity infertility, likely implantation failure camp. And I've been hesitant to talk about it because something has changed inside me during this time. I have essentially lost hope. Although I'm not sure if that is a good way to put it. Maybe it's more precise to say I've lost the expectation of ever having another baby. When I started this channel, I was full of hope and I really wanted to be a voice of positivity and hope as well as information. But that's not where I am right now. I've wrestled with how to handle it, and ultimately I think it's important to be honest and transparent. This journey is not a straight path, and it's not easy, and it's not sunshine and lollipops. I've come to realize that I fall into the category Dr. Beer refers to as the Olympic team. We are the very small subset of recurrent loss moms who don't respond to treatment, and we are the rare elite few, or as I like to call us, the professionals. The probability of me carrying a baby to term that has my husband's DNA is extremely small. So through all the ugly crying and brutal pain, I've come to let go of the expectation that it will ever happen. And I have to be honest, it feels better. I don't know if it's the right thing or the correct thing to do, but it feels better for my heart and for my brain. I realized that at first, when I was grieving the losses, there was 20% of the grieving that was genuine grief for the loss of the life of the babies, and then maybe 80% of it was grieving the loss of what I had anticipated, the life I imagined with my baby. I think of it as the tangent line I expected my life to follow after becoming pregnant, and this felt like the selfish part of the grief. This part was sad for myself that I didn't get to enjoy having a baby. And there was so much connected to this part of the grief. So much could set me off. There was the room that was going to be the baby's room. My mind had already filled that room with anticipation. There was the garden I was growing to feed my baby organic, homegrown baby food. That garden was seeded with anticipation. When I looked at the car, I saw the place where the car seat was supposed to go. This loss of expectation surrounded me. So naturally, grief surrounded me on all sides. And then hope became the oxygen that fueled the grief. The hope of another pregnancy to fill the nursery, to eat the baby food, to use the car seat. In a very strange way, the hope turned caustic on me. It was no longer my friend and was not helping me. And so one day I couldn't take it anymore. This lovely thing called hope had become a 300-pound gorilla on my back. Hope had simply become too heavy to carry, and the road to carry it too long. So I just let go. I no longer expect that we will have a baby. I have left space in my heart so that if it happens, great, but I don't anticipate it. We are going to try one more time, but I honestly feel rather indifferent about it. I have no hope that it will work. But at the same time, I'm not depressed or completely hopeless. I've just chosen to let go of hope, which feels different to me than hopelessness. And it's not easy to let go. Our biology, our hormones, our brain chemistry all want us to procreate and continue our DNA for future generations. Letting go is defying basic biology. And in my experience, biology doesn't go easily. It was only through a lot of pain and a lot of grieving that I finally was able to let go of the anticipation and hope. And I don't think I could have gotten here without 3 years of heart-wrenching grief. What I'm left with is that 20% of the grief that is sadness over the loss of 4 lives. I don't think that will ever go away. I still cry sometimes. I'm still sad sometimes, but I no longer feel like a slave to the grief. It doesn't take all the energy it used to, and it's not a daily fight against anticipation. So I'm sorry if you came here for rays of sunshine and a positive pep talk that everything is going to work out. It might not work out the way you want. So maybe the smart and kind thing to do is to address the want and desire. Of course, I wish that everyone who wanted a baby could have one, but I know that isn't going to happen. So instead, I wish for everyone to find peace with whatever happens on their own fertility journey. So that's what I wrote. Let's see, when did I write that? That would have been over 3 years ago now. I can't believe that. And if you followed my channel, you know that now I do have a baby. I was super, super lucky. But I don't know. This was like the start, whenever I started going through this whole thing where I'm losing hope or whatever. That was like the start of a development for me. It was the start of me growing and really digging down deep into myself and figuring myself out and trying to be at peace and happy with my life versus chasing something else or chasing what society wanted for me or just following the next dopamine hit. This was the first time that I was actually thinking, what does a peaceful life look like for me? What can I do? I'm sorry that I did not share this with you initially, as soon as it happened. I'm sorry that I didn't have the courage when I wrote it to record it and put it out there publicly as it was happening. I wish I did, but I didn't. So I'm sharing it with you now, and I hope that maybe that might help somebody. And I hope that I can just continue to do this kind of sharing that maybe might help people. And I want to say thank you so much for the people that have stuck around this whole time and watched my journey and have commented on my journey, and it has definitely helped me out. I don't know if I've helped anybody else. I really do hope that I have, but I know that you guys have helped me immensely, and thank you so much for being here.